everybody, I'm back again, and this time I'm doing a react to Chantal's newest vlog where she went outside with Salah. And where did they go? They went to an abandoned school. So they found a empty abandoned school out in the middle of the desert, and it went as well as you could imagine it to be. Chantal likes to go to abandoned places. We know that because there's nobody else around to see her, to remark on her. So she and Salah went to an abandoned school. And so I want to sit here and react to this video with you. Before that, we're going to get into the brief Twitter stuff. There are a few things of note on Twitter. And then we'll just call it a wrap for this one. Chantal also did a mukbang. I'm going to take a real good look at it. There was a lot of boring moments in it. In order to react to her mukbang, I'm going to have to tear it apart and put it back together via VideoPad video editor. You guys know that I will not react to her video portion if it's a mukbang. So I'm just going to save that for last since it requires a bit more work. So let's get into all the Twitter stuff, shall we? All right. So let's see. Where are we? There we are. Okay. So there's my Twitter. Let me just go back up to the top. So for those of you that are on Twitter and you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Wild Girl Sarah. So let's start with this post from Ghost Crab. Ghost Crab says, Salah hates her so much. Oh, OMG. He just casually films her secretly resting her guns. Are you kidding me? You know, when I looked at this screenshot, I thought, is this kind of like an AI picture? It just doesn't look real. You know, like half her body is missing. But there's Chantal. During the filming, I guess she had to stop and rest herself. So she rested her upper body on a wall. And as you can see, she does not look happy. She looks flat out miserable. So tell me again how much you like to explore abandoned places, Chantal. You don't look too thrilled about it. And here's an even better close-up shot, courtesy of Buttered Crumpet. Yeah, she looks mad. She looks real mad. Like, she's giving him the dirty, stinky eye right there. Like, you're daring to film me? Salah loves to find those angles, doesn't he? We love him for that. Okay, this is from, I believe it's her mukbang, courtesy of Florida Salt and Sass. And Piggy saying, ma'am, stop it. So let's watch.
That was not even filling. That's not good.
So what meal is she talking about here? What did she just get through eating that's not filling enough? Well, she had a big old glass of soda. She had something pickled in a jar, and she had an entire pizza all to herself. That was what was not filling. She finished the pizza, the soda, I guess the pickled whatever it was, and that's not enough for her. She's saying that wasn't enough. She's not satisfied. So we all know what that means. There's going to be a backup sandwich or a backup pizza since she's not full. Chantal's under the impression if she's not overly full, that she's still hungry. No, you're not hungry, Chantal. You just want to stuff yourself stupid, and you do. All right, now, this is a blast from the past. So for those of you that weren't around at this time period, let me fill you in on what we're looking at. What we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is during a certain time period when Chantal was still at the villa, she entertained the idea of getting a, and I have to say it this way because of YouTube, Sax doll. She was thinking about getting a Sax doll, right? And this was the model that she wanted. This was a Sax doll. This doll cost about $2,000. But the model that she wanted to have other features added to it, such as it being able to talk to her. But this was the Sax doll. It's interesting how this Sax doll looks a lot like Salah, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, that was the one that she wanted. She talked about bringing it on her channel and making content with it, having it on stream. I think that would have been a great idea, but she never followed through. But yeah, there's the doll. There's the aforementioned sax doll. Okay, this is from DX doing a bit of a recap on the vlog, saying they're going to an abandoned school. It's as boring as it sounds. She's walking around an abandoned building in the middle of nowhere. She says she can't do anything because of her quote unquote injured leg. Well, if somebody has an injured leg, and especially if you've got back problems, is it a good idea to go out in the middle of the desert for anything? I would say no, just in case there's a medical emergency, or just in case if you're someone with the person with the injured leg or injured back, if something happens, who are you going to call to for help? Is it a good idea to take somebody who's injured in that way in the middle of nowhere? But no, she decided to go off on this excursion, and she effed around and she found out, because I'm sure she didn't feel good afterwards. And here's another shot of Chantal, courtesy of Florida Salt and Sass. Look, I'm not trying to fat shame, but she looks uncomfortable. She really looks uncomfortable. It doesn't look like there's any room whatsoever in front of her, on either side of her. She looks absolutely crushed into that seat. And ma'am, where is your seatbelt? Where is your doggone seatbelt? She's got a seatbelt extender. Where is her seatbelt? Deng Fupa says, Foodie, this is what you look like if you don't get your act together. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the first picture, I thought, like, I was like, where's the rest of her body? It just seemed like an Unreal AI picture. Okay, let's pivot for a second to something really nice from architecture and design. Slow living and an English countryside. Oh, the lovely aesthetics. I can't. Where is this house? I must move in. What lovely aesthetics we've got going on here. Oh, beautiful. Y'all want to know what my dream home is? There you go. I'm showing it to you. I don't need a mansion. Give me a nice, cozy little cottage, homey. I mean, really? This is beautiful. This is stunning. I want this place. I must have. I must have all of this. Can I have all of this? How much does this cost? I must have it. I want this house. Anyway, all right, we're done here. Let's get into the actual vlog, shall we? Let's not mess around. Let's get into the actual vlog, because it's a disaster, and we love it when she's a disaster. We're here for it. All right, let me get past the scameo. Okay, come on. Get away from me. Okay, let's start here. Let's go.
This winter day in Kuwait. So let's go out and see what, get some sunshine, I guess, get some breakfast, see what else is up. Yalla.
Why are we focusing on a food restaurant? This is supposed to be like an exploration vlog. Why do we need like a long shot of the restaurant? We don't need it.
Alright guys, we're going to pick up some breakfast / lunch here. There's a lot of these little restaurants here in Kuwait. They sell like fataya, they sell pizza, they sell falafel, they sell shawarma, they sell all kinds of things. So we're going to grab a few things. I'll show you what we get before we hit the road. We're going to go for a long drive. I always love long drives, as I've always said.
You know, Chantal likes to say that she's like the model wife for Salah. Hey, model wife, before you guys start all out on these excursions, why don't you take the time and make yourself a good breakfast? And Salah too. You know, do a home cooked meal versus picking something up along the way. You seem to do a lot of that. Like, you'd rather pick something up along the way that's cheap rather than just taking just 30 minutes and make a healthy breakfast for the two of you. And that way you've got the food in your system while you're on the way. Also, bonus, if you do a home cooked meal, you guys can pack something for lunch, and that way no additional money spent on fast food.
That's so yellow.
This is so Chantal. A falafel Sammy. It's a sandwich. Hello, sandwich, not Sammy. You're almost 40 years old. Stop speaking like a little kid. Like what she's holding in her hand, she could have made that at home quite easily. Like, why buy something like that when you could just make that at home?
So we came to Wafra here in Kuwait to check out Dar Sheikha Farms. Wafra is an area of Kuwait known for its farms. But we first came across this abandoned school that we decided to check out, being that we both love exploring abandoned places.
But you actually don't. I've been reacting to you for years. I have never heard you say passionately, I love abandoned places. I love exploring abandoned places. Me, myself, I would love to explore abandoned places, especially hotels and motels, just because they have a history behind them and you can almost feel that energy, like what the place once was, what happened there just by walking through. I would love to go explore abandoned places and just pick up on the energy and kind of like get the feel of what the ambiance was before it went into ruin. But you're not into abandoned places. You're just into abandoned places because you're always looking around for a place where nobody else is. And since this is a place, according to her, this was something that they spotted on another excursion when they went to the farms. What she could have done was look up this school, find out the history of this school, what happened there, how long it was open, so forth and so on, and add that as context before starting the video or during the video. Because that's what a lot of people do that explore the abandoned buildings and places. They explain the history of the building before the video starts so that everybody knows what it was used for and what went on there. She didn't do that. More driving footage that we really didn't need. Like there's way too much time where there's no talking happening. I mean, right here where she's got the music layover, there could have been more like a voiceover of, we're going to this place, here's some of the history, here's what happened, and we're just going to walk through and just get a sense of the place, like add more context, add more interest. She could have even pointed out like the different buildings and what they're used for and the history of them, again, to add more context instead of being lazy and using the music to fill up the empty silence in the space.
Hey guys, so we're gonna check out this creepy abandoned school we came across here in Wafra. And I don't know, it's daytime. It'd be creepier at night, but let's go see what we find. And I'm walking slow, sorry about that.
Chantal, you come online and you talk about your sciatica, because that's what it is. It's sciatica, not true sciatica. You always make sure to mention your hurt leg or your hurt foot or your hurt back. You want people to feel sorry for you. At the same time, when you do things like this, you're making videos like this and you decide as the content creator and as the editor to add in like circus music and in a way almost make it fun of yourself walking across this building.
Alright, let's go see. Looks pretty destroyed. There's like piles of sand hills, and there's beetles, these weird bugs I've never seen before.
Salah, if you were my cameraman, I would fire you. Seriously, between all the bad camera angles of Chantal and focusing on details that really don't matter, that have nothing to do with the video, you'd be fired. You would be fired. You'd be out of a job within that first hour. Like, why do we need to see the bugs? Like, this is not a bug documentary. It's a documentary or a video about an abandoned school, an abandoned building. So why focus on the bugs?
They're friends. Ew. So unfortunately, I can't do too many adventurous things because of my leg right now is injured, but class.
Chantal, even before your leg injury, which is questionable because you really haven't done much of anything to injure your leg, even before that, you weren't that active. You weren't doing much. So what's different? Except that now you're trying to act like that's the reason why you're not active when you weren't active before. You're always finding reasons and excuses why you can't do much. And you're saying, oh, it's my back, it's my leg. Well, let's just put the truth on the table. It's because of your weight. It has a lot to do with your weight. You're carrying 200 plus extra pounds in the front of you. I know that has to hurt. That has to be so incredibly painful. On top of that, you have a fupa. We know about the fupa balls. I'm sure that's turned into a full-on apron. And no, I'm not fat shaming you. I'm just saying you've gained a lot of weight. As a woman, I can't even imagine how painful that must be to have so much in the way of weight and skin hanging down away from you, pulling down, how painful that is. And then trying to move and trying to walk with that. That has to hurt so much. Has to make every step excruciating. So it's not your leg or your back that's the issue, it's your weight and the consequences of eating incorrectly for so long. Yet you'll never say that. You'll never say, oh, it's because of my weight, because I'm too big, because of me being so big, I have all these health problems. No, you're going to blame it on something benign. Oh, it's my leg, it's my back. If only that were all of your problem, but it's not.
Classrooms are full of sand. Nature's taking over. I don't know why the schools are abandoned. I'm sure I can.
Look at her. Look at her discreetly trying to hold on to her lower back. Her lower back is killing her. You see that hand like going directly behind her? She's trying to brace her lower back. She's bracing it right now.
Find out for you guys. If I do, I'll insert somewhere.
So from what I could find, the school was most likely abandoned during the Gulf War, but more about that a bit later.
Well, you should have given the context before the start of the video. This was a place that you and Salah said that on your other excursions to farms, you heard about this place or you saw it. So why couldn't you do a Google search online before you went, found out as much information as you could, and add that as kind of like the intro to the video to set people up for what they're going to be looking at and what's the history and how many kids went there. You didn't do that. You're just showing up and standing beside the building. Like, I would have been walking through the place respectfully and then just getting a feel of it. Like, what is there any energy left in the building? And like just giving my thoughts about what I'm picking up. Or just saying something like, you can only imagine how many kids went here. Like, what kind of lessons that they were taught, like just giving context in the way of my personal impression.
Whoa. I'm going to try to make it over here.
Miriam, it's too late. Listen, you just did a live where you were bending over in your chair to pick up Julia. You plopped down in your chair. Cut it out. You're not that ill. Quit it.
I love abandoned places. So when I saw this, I'm
No,
like,
you don't. No, you don't love it. You like abandoned places because that's the only place you can go in Kuwait is in abandoned places. Before Kuwait, you did not express any kind of desire to go to an abandoned place.
I want to check it out, even if it's hard for me. There's some paneling here. There we go. Probably snakes living in here.
Again, Salah, you would have gotten fired today. This is not what the video is about.
Abandoned shelves. Chalkboard.
See, there's this beautiful art piece on the wall. Why didn't they just focus on the art piece? Or just take a slow walk through, going through each of the rooms and like focusing on things of interest. And here we go with the voiceover music. And you want to know why? My feeling is Salah was the one to go inside the building and do the filming because Foodie couldn't. So he's the one filming this footage. This is her content and this is her video, but he's the one doing all the filming. So, Miss, I love abandoned places. You're not even exploring this abandoned place. You're letting somebody else do it. You can't even give your honest thoughts because you're not doing the walkthrough. See, she's outside the building. So I was right. Salah's the one going inside and filming because he can just hop over the wall and go inside and look around. She's on the outside like, go ahead, this is what I pay you for. You do all the filming. I'll just sit out here and wait and be miserable. So she sat there looking all kinds of miserable until she noticed the camera on her, and then she put her smile back on again. Y'all notice what I just noticed a few seconds ago? So, like I said before in another react, Chantal dragging her foot, that's kind of a sporadic thing, isn't it? She was fine. But then when she was going to the clinic, suddenly when she was turning the corner, she started dragging her foot. Here she is in this video, suddenly she's not dragging her freaking foot.
So in 1990, Iraq invaded Kuwait, commencing the Gulf War. There are apparently 5 or so abandoned schools here in Wafra that have stayed abandoned since the invasion. Some were demolished, but this one's foundation still remains standing, a ghostly reminder of a violent time in Kuwait. These empty classrooms are filling with desert sand, and one day will be completely buried, if not demolished first. There's an eerie silence permeating the area, a stark contrast to how full of student laughter it would have been once upon a time when the institution was functional.
Why do I have a feeling what she just said she pulled off of Google? That did not come from her own honest thoughts. Like, it seems like this school is enormous. Like, a lot of kids went there. It's such a big building with so many different rooms that it's such a shame that Salah nor Chantal just explored every room and just found things of interest. It was just like, come on, let's go, let's get some quick footage and get out of here. This can't even be considered like a proper abandoned building exploration video because again, they're not going in every room, like exploring many of the rooms and like giving a description of the feel of the place. So look, there's some beautiful artwork down here. Let me guess, you won't even stop and look at it. It sounds like he's running through the building, doesn't it? Like, what exactly did she tell him? Salah, go in the building, run into every room really, really quick, and get as much footage as you can in every room. And then I could just make a 10-minute video and I can monetize it. Was that the assignment? Was that what he was told to do? Way too much music in this video. Way too much. Way too much, Chantal. There's very little commentary here. And the funny thing is, you titled your video Canadian Explores Kuwait. But it's not you exploring, is it? It's Salah. He's the one doing all the exploring. You're just standing outside waiting for him to finish exploring. So you can't say that you explored. It was him. More of him exploring, more of him exploring. Next. This was all him. This should have been on his channel. He was the one doing all the work. And the crazy thing is, if Salah hadn't screwed up so badly, this could have been a couple's vlog, or this could have been on her main channel. And since he lives in Kuwait and he would know more about the background of Kuwait, he could have walked through the school with her and pointed out what different things were and what they were used for, because he would know more so than her. But all he could do, since he did screw up, was just get the footage. But his knowledge could have made for great commentary. He could have told her, oh, this is what this was used for, this is what this was used for, and he can't do that.
So, unfortunately, on our way from the school to the farms, it started raining pretty heavily, which is normal in the winter here in Kuwait. So, we decided to head home because the farm is an outdoor activity and we did not have an umbrella. But don't worry, we will eventually show you around the various farms here in Wafra. Well, guys,
Well, you know what, Chantal, since this is your channel and you want to act like you're doing things, so why not just actually do things versus have somebody do them for you? You know, show yourself being active, doing things versus just handing Salah the camera and getting the footage while you're standing by the building holding yourself up. You know, if you're going to do it, then you do it. Don't make somebody else do it.
thanks for watching. See you in the next.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up. I'm so tired of you already. All right, this is one of the shorter reacts. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of each other and yourself. Bye.